and now it's solid.
That's what my face does at the end.
The rock. Do, 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 do. That's what this love is. That's my shameless plug because new episodes of The Upshaws is on Netflix with our brother from another mother, Chris.
Is that their theme song?
Started Thursday.
Yeah.
Started Thursday? Okay.
Part 3. I'm in episode 3 and episode 8. And then the third season, I'll be in episode 1.
Wait, what?
So this is part 3. It's the second half of the second season. They're calling it part 3, but season 3. I'm in the first episode of season 3, which will probably be, probably say, I guess they'll say season 3 for them instead of part 3. So, yeah.
You just making the rounds, popping up.
I've watched episodes 1 and 2, and so far so good. So I can't wait to see you.
It's a good show, though. It's very funny.
Well, it had to grow. Before I knew that Chris was on it. When they first came out, I watched like 2 episodes, and I was like, it really didn't rub.
The first 2 episodes, it didn't hit me either, and then I ended up watching. I binged the second half like crazy. I just like one day I was like, because I was actually laughing. It was good.
It's a good just a sitcom. You know what I mean? Like a great sitcom.
Wanda Sykes is hilarious.
Oh yeah. Good. And I like the old school feel it gives me, like from back in the day, watching like the 30-minute sitcoms, comedy sitcoms, with you can hear like the audience laughing and stuff. It doesn't feel like that generated like auto laughter.
Well, I wish we had a real audience. No, it is generated.
Oh, it isn't. Well, whoever's doing that does a good job because it really seems like there's people in the studio.
Not a lot of studio audience. No.
So you prefer a studio audience?
I would, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I like because there's an energy to it. You can feel. You can feel the applause. You know when you hit a joke, when people are laughing. There's nothing like doing something funny and hearing people laughing. Like on my Instagram, where I fall down and do that thing. That was the crew all laughing at. That was nothing but the crew laughing at me doing that, and telling you there's nothing like performing and then doing something where people are responding to. But when we're doing this, you can only hear a little bit of the crew laughing. It's not real, and they're laughing because they've seen it before. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They know what's happening. So, yeah, I do prefer. But that being said, it's hard to do a live studio audience with a certain type of filming because you don't have as much control. I mean, you got to get it. So you got to have actors who are like Mike Epps is a very loose performer where he's he'll add something or take something away or put some of his own spin on it, and where you can't, if you're in front of a studio audience, you got 4 hours to do it and let's go. Like anyway. So I don't know if ever we're going to get live studio audiences ever again.
I don't think so. I think that's dead gone. Now I'm a little disappointed because I really thought that there was a studio audience, maybe not as big as like old school shows, but I thought like maybe they'd have like 50 or 60. But whoever does that sound editing, good job, because I thought they was real folks. Good job, Chris. So I can't wait when we're done. I'll be going back to my couch and queuing up and see your.
You watching anything else? Watching The Last of Us, which is good.
I just finished the latest episode.
I didn't see the last episode yet.
I watched the last episode twice. I liked it so much.
It's really good.
It's good.
The one with the couple, that was a really heartwarming. That was a really nice.
I loved it. The younger guys at work, they was like, no, they didn't. I'm like, dudes, calm down. They was like, they didn't have to do that. He was a character, I guess, in the game, but the other one had already passed, they said. So you don't get that dynamic. It's kind of just alluded to. But I thought it was so beautifully written. I loved it.
From White Lotus.
In the midst of all that chaos, they had their own little oasis of happiness, and I loved it. That was my favorite episode until last week.
White Lotus.
I have not got into White Lotus.
You didn't watch the first season?
I watched the first. I watched 4 episodes of the first season, and it just never hit for me.
That's the guy from White Lotus.
Which one?
The main guy from White Lotus, the one who won the Emmy.
I don't watch White Lotus, so I don't know who he is.
You saw the first season, right?
Of White Lotus?
Of White Lotus at the hotel. He's the gay guy doing all the drugs and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. Okay, that's him. I knew he looked familiar, but I was like, who is this guy?
He won an Emmy for the White Lotus.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
The first season of White
plays
Lotus.
He plays the guy. And I got to tell you, my man, what's his name? From Parks and Rec.
Ron. That's all everybody said. Ron.
He was excellent. He's
really excellent in everything he does.
He's gonna definitely get an Emmy. They both may get Emmy nods for that.
Mm-hmm.
Next year.
Yeah.
That was he was great. They were great.
Top tier. And this last episode was top tier too.
You know who his wife is, right?
Yeah, Megan Mullally.
Megan Mullally.
Karen. Yeah. The original Karen.
I wonder if they have a kid.
Drunk Karen.
If they have a kid, that'd be a funny kid. That kid better be funny as hell.
She's like what? 10, 15 years older than him?
No.
10 years older than him? She's older than him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think he is. Did he just turn 60 or 50? Yeah, but she's definitely older than him. And they've been together a long time.
It is. I will say this. It really is a good show.
So, he is 64.
Uh-huh.
And he is Nick Offerman. Oh, he's 52. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Did not know that. Are you younger than me?
Oh, I know. Because somebody was saying he was younger than, what's his name, Jared Leto. He's like a year younger than Jared Leto, and they were comparing, but I don't care. Ron could get it. I love him.
He was really good.
Respectfully, Karen.
Yeah, so really folks, go out and watch. Yeah, The Last of Us. Check out the oh my God, Chris's show.
The Upshaws.
The Upshaws. Sorry, I had a brain fart, and I didn't even.
Gabrielle Union and
So that is good. That's good.
That's very good. Truth Be Told on Apple TV is excellent. Actually, there's a new episode out today. So
today, yeah. And I can only watch it on one TV. I'm pissed. I gotta go downstairs.
So, Married at First Sight.
Before we jump into Married at First Sight, one question. Did we talk about this last week? Rihanna's performance? Did we? We talked about the Grammys. Rihanna's performance. Yay or nay?
I liked it. I thought it was a really good show.
I like the simplicity of it, right?
Did you see the thing about how the Super Bowl halftime show came about?
I did. I saw that a couple of weeks. I saw that I think a week ago in Living Color, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that was interesting.
I remember that. I remember that because I used to love In Living Color, and I could care less about the Super Bowl. So when it came on, it was like the halftime show. I was all over that.
I don't remember that per se, but I can see it. I always thought I knew we didn't have these big half times, but I didn't know it was that bad. With those majorettes and all that other crap. I didn't know it was that
Vanessa sang the national anthem, and Diana Ross was the halftime performance.
When?
Oh, yeah, I remember the Diana Ross.
Super Bowl.
It was very good. Yeah.
Steelers and the Cowboys.
Okay.
Yeah. Obviously, I don't remember Vanessa singing the national anthem, but I do remember watching Diana Ross. Yeah, because I thought she did a good job. My mother loves Diana Ross, and so she had us watch it.
But I liked seeing Rihanna. She was good. I kept looking. I'm like, is she pregnant?
Oh, she looked pregnant from the beginning. I
was like confused because that baby's only 8 months. So I was just like, is that still her baby? What's happening? Then I was just like, Irish twins.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
$1.4 billion she's worth. 1.4 billion. And you saw her take her little Fenty thing like this and do this.
Smart.
I was like, I'm not mad at you.
Oh,
And you know what? You know they don't get paid for that, right?
yeah, I just found that out yesterday.
Right. They don't get paid for it.
Did.
And
that's like Sesame Street. It's an honor to do it.
Yeah.
But
And
the exposure from it is so astronomical that everyone makes so much more money just being on the show.
Yeah.
And for her product line, her brand, it's wonderful because all of the dancers were wearing Savage Fenty, and they were all over TikTok after the performance, showing off their clothes because they got to keep them, their outfits, and they were all over TikTok and stuff. So good for her. I loved when she did the whole palette and all that. Go ahead, Riri.
And Shirley Ralph, her performance.
I didn't see it. Was it good?
It was very good. She's incredible. Chris, if I ever come to visit you again, you're going to have to lock me in the house because I'm going to be around the corner.
Around the corner.
You're going to have to lock me up.
Right with you, Shahid. I'll be like, is it time to walk Prince? Prince time. It's time for Prince's walk.
I'll do it. I'll do it myself.
Right?
So 3:00 in the morning, 2 nights ago, I'm laying in bed. I hear it. Boom, 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 boom. I was like, what? I jump up, put some clothes on. I knew something had happened. Jumped out of bed, and I go outside, and this couple pulls up and he goes, "Oh my God, a drunk driver." They went, you know when the driveway goes like this, but the slopes go up for the curb, the curb parts. This guy went on my driveway, went up on the thing like this, went like that, hit the pole, the light pole, knocked the whole thing down into the street, lost a wheel, not the tire, with the axle and the thing, lost the wheel, gone.
Damn.
And we're like, so I'm like, what the hell happened? And the guys were coming in. I'm like, he's like, where's the car? I'm like, I don't, as far as you can see, you can't see the car on 3 wheels somewhere. And then I'm like, help me pull this pole out of the street. And while I'm doing that, this guy comes over the side and hits the wheel, the other wheel in the middle of the street, messes up his whole car. He gets out. We pull the pole off the street. This girl comes over and goes and crashes her whole car, her front of her car on all the debris in the street. And she's like, I just got off work. I just got my car back. It's 10:30. I'm tired. I have to be working. It was really bad. And then so I ran down. I don't know. This is a long story. And I thought the signals were for the cops. Tow truck took it away. It was like almost a half a mile down the road. I don't know what the fuck they were doing. And maybe they escaped and have no idea who it was, what kind of car, but the big ass wheel and everything, coils everywhere down the street. Anyway, it's crazy. Craziness.
Yeah, drunk driving. It's just disgusting. All right, let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Well, we're going to start off with Gina and Clint because it ended last week where they had their little tiff.
Okay.
But I'm sorry. I'm about to be petty as hell.
Go ahead.
Gina, girl, when you're doing your morning confessionals with the camera, don't have it looking up at you because that was not a good look. I was like, oh, child, put the camera down, look at it head on. Her nostrils, it was not a good look. Her lips are over injected with filler. It's just horrible. Her nose, it was not an attractive look. I'm not trying to say that she's ugly, but she looked hella ugly when she woke up and put that camera all up her nostrils. I was like, ugh. But I'm being petty. Anyway, back to Gina and Clint. Let's see.
Shahida, do you want to chime in on the ugly one? I'm here waiting to like, good.
I fucking hate her. She's not okay. First, you can sit there and go on and cry and do your white woman tears about body shaming and everything. Okay, but you can't understand how you calling him a ginger was basically the same thing, and nobody got it. The only person, the only person that got it was Rudy Huxtable. What is that woman's name?
Keisha
the only one that got it was Keisha Pulliam. That connected the two. Everybody else is like, oh, Clint, he talks too much. He's this, he's that. We get it. I don't like Clint either, but she did the same exact thing, and she doubled down on it, and she has yet to apologize that I could tell, and I don't think that he has said anything either. So
that's Gina getting back at you.
That is the ghost of
Gina's lips. The ghost of Gina's thin lips.
Let me make sure my shit's good.
Let me turn it on from the other side. The whole light just fell down behind my desk. Anyway, no, I'm so over her that I thought that I wrote something down here.
Yeah, all I wrote down was her how she looked.
Yeah, she couldn't get beyond herself and her own feelings. I don't like her. I don't like her. And even at that dinner, she didn't even try and help him out a little by saying that he did apologize to me privately, because everybody kept saying, oh, he never apologized to her. He did this long, diatribe or whatever, but he never said sorry. But he did. What else did you want? They just wanted blood from that man. But I don't like him either.
She did say, she did acknowledge that he apologized at the dinner. Yeah, because after everybody was talking, saying like, dude didn't even apologize, he just blah, blah, blah. She opened her mouth and said, we had a long talk and he apologized profusely, and we're trying to move forward from this and all of that.
Yeah, but in the after party, they said that he didn't apologize. Nicole, he said, she's like,
that's what
he didn't really apologize. Huh? She has
said at the after party. That's why I was confused. And I want to say, Keisha Napoleon was the only one that even acknowledged it.
That he was hurt and he was just probably not lashing out.
No, but he did apologize to Gina privately. He didn't apologize to the group.
Right.
He just said what he had to say and didn't say I'm sorry. But at the end of the day, get over it. Jesus Christ. This shit would have never happened, number one, if Gina didn't open her mouth from the get-go. She started that shit by talking about making the whole ginger comment and not being the type of person that I would normally date. You open that door, miss.
And she never acknowledged that. It seems like the women, but they should have seen it by now. Seems like the women don't have a clue that she said anything like that. But I also think that even if they did, they still wouldn't appreciate that it's really the same type of insult. I don't think that they thinking that them saying, oh, well, I'm not attracted to a redhead can be as disrespectful as, talking about somebody's weight. I don't think that they would get it.
I get it, because basically you're saying you're not attracted to me. That would be like a guy, I married a stranger or met some guy and he says, I don't usually date women that have brown hair or brown eyes or, that's a certain height. And if I'm that height, I'd be like, well, then why the fuck are you talking to me?
But ginger is actually a slur.
It is.
In a lot of places.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're smart enough to know that.
But even then when he says to her, I find it derogatory, even if it's universally derogatory. He said, I'm offended by that. And she doubled down by going, well, I have ginger people all the time in my thing. It's like, it's like colored folk. I have colored folk all the time. What are you talking about? I have plenty of colored friends.
No, she did. Listen, she is all about, I agree. I think it's all about her salon and trying to get clout for the salon, because like you said, when he was talking about the ginger comment, what did she immediately say? She never said I'm sorry. She immediately said, I work with gingers all the time. I know how to deal with gingers' hairs. Boo-boo. We ain't talking about how you treat gingers, people with red hair. With I know what kind of product to use and I know how to cut their hair. Bish. This ain't got nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that you literally offended the man, but you took it to your salon. That's all she's about, is getting, notoriety. That's why she doesn't talk about anything with the exception of work. Period.
Yeah, they're done. I mean, I don't even have much to say about him. I don't think he did a lot this episode. For me, it was her that stuck out the most, but they're not going to make it.
Of course not.
But I honestly with Clint, I do think he's trying. I do think he's trying in his own way. I think he's look, he didn't have to apologize to the group. It's none of the group's business.
That was true.
He was talking for 45 minutes because he still felt really badly, wanted to make sure that people knew that that's not what he really meant. And so I like Clint more than I thought I would like him. I thought he was going to be like, I'm just here for the booty. I think he genuinely really wanted to wanted this marriage, or like wanted to be married, wants to have someone. He was attracted to her early on.
Right.
I don't know. It's not going to work.
You're right. I didn't think about that, but it took a lot for him to say, let me apologize to every woman here.
Right.
And that was
he didn't really have to, because that's not what he really meant in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
Correct.
And you're right about Gina started the whole thing too, but anyway, they're not going to make it. You saw the preview of them. She's like, "Do you want to? It's just the end of the marriage." She's like, "Well, depends on if my salon is ready for its $7,000 because it is a $7,000 square foot space that we just got." Why do we need to know that, Gina? Why do we need to know how big the space is? We don't need to know that.
It's amazing how a couple of weeks ago I was like, "Oh, I admire her drive. She's so intelligent. He's not good enough for her. He's a lazy bum." And then now I'm just like, she's horrible. She's awful, awful, awful.
Let's just say for this week, because shit changes like the goddamn weather. Next week she'll probably do something. I'll be like, I kind of like her. I like her again, but she needs to get up off of that salon talk. We're over it. Boo boo. We know you have your own business. We know you do hair. So,
and sad news that Alyssa and Miguel and Lindy got divorced.
We already knew that was coming.
Oh, Lindy. Okay, yeah.
And Olajuwon and Katina have made it official. They've officially separated again.
Oh, they did? I didn't see that.
Well, they do not have. I mean, it's not a really good track record for Married at First Sight. I mean, they said it's 10% now that they actually stay together.
Because you know why? They're picking shitty people over and over and over again. We haven't had a really good loving season since what? New Orleans? Because how many couples stayed together in one show? I think in New Orleans it was Amon.
There's two that lasted in New Orleans. Two is
lasted now, but I'm just saying who stayed married at the end of the show. It was 3 couples out of the 5.
Right.
And only, I don't know about
actually it was 4 in
4?
New Orleans. Yeah, because it was Woody and Armani, the
other black couple,
Karen and Miles,
the weird couple.
Yeah, Munchkin and Chin. Remember, little elephant Chin.
They were in New Orleans?
That was New Orleans.
That wasn't New Orleans. No.
What was that? Houston. Oh, that was Houston. My bad. I don't know why I've got that name. But then it was 3.
The weird couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amelia and Bennett.
Mm-hmm.
Karen and
Miles. That's the last one where we actually saw. I want to say I might not have liked all of them, but I would say high quality candidates for this show.
And I have a feeling that it's going to continue to go down this slippery slope of people bringing all of their drama to the table and not doing it not being on this show for the right reasons. Because people are seeing, especially these 20-something-year-olds, that's all they know is social media, and how, if they get a good following of people. I mean, perfect example. Look at Stasha. I went to Stasha's IG. She's got a lot of followers, and now she done got rid of Nate, and now she's showing all of her real estate ventures all over IG and how she's remodeling this house and that house. And now she just started a YouTube channel where she's talking all about her giving real estate tips. You don't think she's going to make money off of that?
A sex toy line.
Oh, and a sex toy line.
I saw that too.
You got 37.4
on the after party.
37.4 thousand followers now.
Yep. So she got on the after party and said what she was doing. And you think she'd be starting a sex toy line, if not for Married at First Sight and that swing episode? So now she's going to parlay that into making money. So these kids that are going on these shows, I'm not saying that all of them are looking for clout, but the majority of them.
Look what I just found.
What?
You remember Mindy?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
With the dude, with the dude who was...
He was a horrible dude.
Guess who she was hanging out with?
Stephen Moy. That's the rumor on the street that they're a couple now. Yeah.
Steve taking his cryptocurrency to the ice skater.
Mm-hmm.
What's for her? Because I thought she had left the country. I thought she was living in
She was living in Mexico.
Okay.
But maybe she's back. Or maybe she just came for a visit and hung out with him. Who knows?
Yeah, that's interesting.
That is.
Nastasha's following her. Katina has 89,000 followers. 89,000 Katina does.
Yep. So
but I think Katina was in it to be married. I think Stasha, even though it didn't work out with her, I think she really wanted to be married. She said the other night that it was a maturity thing for her, and I can see that.
Yeah. But again, I don't think the longevity, the likelihood of these couples with each season, a lot of it's just going to continue. You'll have some couples that'll stay together, and then you'll have the majority of them by the new season. They'll all be divorced.
But that's because of the producers, and that's because of who they're picking. They're not picking people. This season alone shows you clearly that they are not picking people, because when we jump to another couple, that's one of my main things that I'm going to say about it, is that they did not pick this couple to really work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which one? Which one? Clinton?
No, Michaela. McKinnley and Dominique.
Oh, yeah.
Can we just jump into them?
Yeah.
Please.
She had a very good, valid point. You've been in Nashville 5 months. Before then, you were here, you were there, you were someplace else. She said, I don't feel that I get a sense of security that you have anything here holding you here. And he's like, oh no, I just didn't want to jump into, buying anything or renting anything when I didn't know anything about the area or whatever. She said, but then you wanted to get married. You jumped into a marriage. Mm-hmm. Very good, solid point.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't Pastor Cal or any of them think of saying that?
Yeah.
Why? This man has not showed any stability, but oh yeah, come be on our show. Come, we're gonna match you. I know you want to get married, but you don't have anything to offer. He literally brought her to a room where he owned nothing, not even.
Well, he had to do that.
I know, but still, that's what I'm saying. We of course know that they want to show where you're living, but usually you show where you're living and you own something. He didn't even own the pictures on the wall. Weren't even his family. They were the other family.
Just as Stasha said, and someone else said in the after party, Oh, and what's her name? With Jasmine, they're in transition. So they didn't want to necessarily, they weren't going to have a lot of stuff of their own wherever they lived. Like Jasmine's living at her parents' house right now, and Stasha said her home was being built, so her temporary space wasn't great.
That's different. You don't think that's different?
I mean,
he's never. The thing is, the most consistent thing about him is his inconsistency. Mm-hmm. You can live as many places as you want to. That's fine. But if you're only in a place for 5 months and you're unsure of the place that you're staying in, why would you get married?
Because then you would get a place with your wife.
No.
They would get a place together with his wife.
And she said, and I don't think it's a gold digging move on her to say most of the men I've dated are more stable and they own their own home.
Well, that's true, but I don't like her. I don't like her either, though. I don't like her. She's judgy. I think she's judgy. I understand why she could be judgy with McKinnley because he's, well, he also wasn't also proud of the fact I felt he looked embarrassed because they're forcing you to go to where you live. And he looked like embarrassed that he had to do that. And he's like, but I'm not.
If you were interviewing him, Chris.
Right. No, I totally agree with that about he may not be a great candidate for the show.
That's what
I understand that. But if you're there someplace for 5 months and you're getting your footing and you have free rent, you can stay at a place until you're ready to go and find something else.
I would do it. I would do it wholeheartedly, but I wouldn't go looking as a man, because a woman might be different how she thinks, but as a man, I'm not going to be being someplace 5 months. I haven't even been a year yet.
Yeah. So
he could be, playing the field or, feeling things out. He hasn't even really felt the place out. He just moved there. And, and as far as I'm concerned, he probably only moved there because he knew Married at First Sight was going to be doing their next showing out of that state. He probably just wanted to get on the show. There's no way that you can interview him as like Pastor Cal or whoever, all of them interview him and think that he is a stable candidate for marriage.
Marriage should have been the last thing.
That
you've been running from everything for the past 5-6 months. He was in Michigan, he was somewhere else, wherever, and then he was in
California.
California, that's right. Michigan, California, now Nashville. Why are you like running? And you're 30-something years old. I can see if you're like 20, like Dom's age, and you're just trying to find yourself. But there's no reason if he's in there for 5 months and he's staying in the basement of his friend's parents' house. The last thing on your mind as a whole grown ass man is, I want to get married. Bro, get your shit together. Like,
or set him up with a 25-year-old. That's what you would do in this situation. Who would be a good candidate so they could grow together as a couple? Because they probably had her first. They probably had her at 25. I'm like, well, who are we gonna get for her? And
but why would you even have her again?
I'm with you on that. The choices are awful. But if you're choosing this one girl and you had a guy and you're like, well, we'll just put them together. That's what I think. That's what it feels like. Like, well, he's older and she's younger, and then she's too young and he's not really stable. Let's just put them together and see if maybe they gel. He's good looking. He's nice. Whatever. She's cute. Her mom wants her to do it. It's a story. Put them together. That's what they probably said.
I think they didn't anticipate. I think that Dominique's age of 25 threw them, thinking that they can put her with McKinnley because she's young, and she'll be able to be moldable or bendable or whatever, working with him.
I would hope not.
But she's an old soul, remember?
But it doesn't have nothing to do with the old soul. She is established. She has her own place. She has a good job. She's independent. She does her own thing. I'd be looking at him sideways too. So maybe she comes off as judgy, but I don't think she's a judgmental person. I think she is looking at this dude like, what is he bringing to the table? Like,
which is smart.
Come on. Like, I'm 25 years old. If I'm 25 years old and they pair me with a man that's 10 years older than me, and you living like I was living in like college or what have you, or in high school, I'm going to look at you sideways. 100%.
All of that.
I'm going to look at you sideways. Period. End of story. You can't be a certain age as a man and you want to have a wife and you don't have your shit together.
You don't even have a plate.
You don't have to own a house, but you got to have an apartment.
He don't have a plate.
He don't even have his own. All he got is the clothes on his back.
That is it.
He ain't got no pictures either. He ain't got no pictures.
He got no pictures, no plates, no fork. And it's not even like, okay, in a basement apartment, it's not even a separate basement, you know, with its own entrance or anything. It is literally two rooms, a bedroom and a little hallway for a living room that you can, but everything else you got to go up and be in the family. So you're not even paying for your own little apartment.
And I don't even think he cares. I think I think he's embarrassed now because, you know, he's on national TV. But I think
he's embarrassed because that black girl gave him that side eye.
Right.
I think if it was somebody else and they were like, it's not a big deal or whatever, but she was, you could tell she was turned off by it. And she was just like, she just kept looking and kept saying, you know, it just gets smaller and smaller.
But supposedly they were all over each other at the dinner. And they were hot and heavy, and you know.
But I think that's because I don't think it's because she is like all of that into him. I think she's just like a rah-rah girl. Like she wants to have her drinks, and she's sitting next to this man that's her husband. And she's gonna feel up on him and have a little kiss and blah blah. Trust when I tell you, she ain't looking at the longevity with this dude. No.
I agree with Tanya on that one because I feel like younger women now, they don't think the way, at least my old ass anyway, they don't think the way I did when I was like 25. I had to be really into you to be hung up on you. They have a few drinks and they just like what she was with the stripper. And just how she is coming up with kissing Clint, you know, they don't think of that as being like, you know, totally intimate. That's just having fun.
It's having
fun to them. So I don't think that I can read much into her being all over him, but I can read her face when she saw that apartment. But even before then, there's a couple of times she's just looking, when she's sober, she ain't looking at him like, oh, I want you. She's looking at, what's your plan, sir?
And she shouldn't have to ask him that. As a grown ass 30-something-year-old man, he should have his shit. He should have a plan. He should be telling her and not being looked at sideways by a 25-year-old. Shame on you, McKinnley. Shame on
back
you.
To his mama, and that's why his mama was like, I'm tired of his ass. Always something.
Exactly. So we already know they ain't gonna make it. They ain't even gonna make it to decision day. We just called that one.
So honestly, what do you, I mean? Okay, I'm trying to wrap my mind around Chris's point about the selection committee or whatever they're called now.
The experts.
I don't even know. We got to think of something else because they're not. If you wanted to have a really good show, Dominique on her own, I don't dislike her. I get what you're saying, Chris, when you say she's judgy. She is, because you know why? She's 25. I was fucking judgmental as fuck when I was in my 20s. You know, it wasn't until life started kicking my ass. And I'm like, you know what? I can see the gray in this situation. It wasn't all black and white, but at black and white at 25, that's the way to go. So I get that. But seeing that she is, and seeing that she is judgy, and she is, and her age, and the fact that she didn't initially sign up for it, she says, I'm doing it because my mother said I should. That would have been like, for me, if I was an expert, I would have been like, you know what? Why don't you sit this one out? Because maybe you need to figure out what you want, not what your mother wants. Because that, it seems like she's doing it a lot to please her mother. And I don't understand. I do get it. Because at 25, I was doing a lot of shit. I got married at 20 because I felt like my mother, that's what my mother wanted me to do. And that's not what she thought. That's what she said, you know? So I get it. So as an expert looking at that situation, why would you put her on this show? And we already discussed why I wouldn't select him, But again, they don't want a good show. They just want dramatics. And another reason, I'm going to stop after that, I'm sorry. Another reason why I say, because I'm looking at Pastor Cal's conversation with them, like I guess in the next week or two, he's so much sterner than he has ever been.
Yes.
Right? And I feel like he's sterner because they're like, you got to pump that up a little because people want to see you being a lot sterner with these couples. And so it's like, okay, let's go for the dramatics with this season. And even he is in on it.
Well, he has to be because this is his reputation that's on.
No, but he has not been, as far as I can see for these two clips that I saw, he has never been that stern.
Yeah. Well, part of that clip, he says to them, so you both lied. So there's something that, again, I try not to read into previews, but that was part of that clip where he has them both on the couch and he's like, looks at them both and he's like, so you both lied. So something had to have happened that comes out that, in the interviewing process or the selection process that they either lied about or they withheld something.
And he was stern with Clint and and Gina too. He's very stern with them as well. So I'm like, from what I could see, I don't want to harp too much on it because I get your point. I've never seen him in those two clips. I've never seen him that stern. Remember, we were begging him to be stern with Chris. Remember?
Yeah.
Begging that he would be. Nope, just cool breezy the whole time. And this time, now he's showing a little like almost anger. So it does seem like this season is like, and they keep saying it in the previews, a season like no other, or the most drama, or whatever.
They do that all the time.
Yeah, but
listen here, the only way it's going to be like a season like no other. Don't say that shit, because the only way it's going to be a season like no other is if we don't have a decision day episode. But from the previews, when they show them getting out the cars. So if that was pre-recorded or what have you, not sure. But if they don't have a fucking decision day, that everybody just walks away before the season ends. Now that would be a fucking first time for me. And I'd be like, thank God.
I have a strong feeling that there's going to be a couple that might walk away before decision day. I really do. And I think that's the big surprise for this season.
Yeah.
Dominique and him and what's his name and Clinton so-and-so. Oh.
But maybe Eris and Jasmine too.
No, she'll stick it out.
I believe she will.
He'll stick it out. He'll stick it out too because he don't care one way. Let's go get into them. He don't care one way. He don't care one way or the other. He's just like whatever.
Dick. I don't like him, and I'm sorry to cut you off. And people don't roast me on the comments on YouTube, but I'm sorry. I can't stand his ass. Why was he selected? He is a walking red fucking flag.
I can't believe he's 39. I thought he was a little bit younger than that. 39, never lived with a woman,
and
hard sell for me.
Alone time. Don't get married. When he was like walking after going to the gym and he's like, I really value my alone time. Then why'd you get married? Because when you get married, you might want some alone time every once in a while. I like my alone time. But when I first get married, like I especially married at first sight, I need to get to know you.
Yeah, but I need my alone time too. Especially if I've been alone for a long time, and all of a sudden you're married and you're thrust in that situation. You got to have some time for yourself. They're living together. I understand him wanting to go to the gym in the morning and have his time in the morning. So,
that's fine. But he's just a fucking dick. That shit he said at the fucking dinner when they were talking, and he was like, clapping back at Jasmine. And she was just like sitting there and stuff. And then when he made that comment about her wiping his ass, like, dude, Jasmine, you're giving him way too much. Like he is way too confident. After a week, you're going to make a comment like, she's the kind of person that I'm sure if I were to get sick tomorrow and, she would be right by my bedside, my ride or die. She'd wipe my ass if need be. And I'm saying to myself, If that were me, I'd be like, bro, you got the wrong one. Like,
no, but she's the type of person. He's saying she's the type of person that, and she would be if it was anybody, regardless of who it is. That her husband, she's a ride or she seems like a ride or die. That's all. He wasn't coming anything that he had done. It was just saying that I thought that he's noticed that she's that type of person that's a ride or die. But he just doesn't care. He doesn't seem to really care about anything. He really doesn't. He don't care.
Do you really believe that he wanted to get married?
That's what I'm saying. Why would he go on the show? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Why? First of all, why would you? First of all, he doesn't have much personality at all. He's not.
I can see him being
raging. He's kind of laid back. Kind of like this. He's kind of like not really smart. Not really. I like. So, what's your favorite sexual position? I mean, it's whatever. I'm like, but he's not good TV. That's for sure. He's not good TV.
He's not.
And he's like, I'm coming around to it. Whatever this would be. I thought this would be a good situation for me to be forced to be married and this and that. He's just not good TV. He's not good TV, and it doesn't seem like. Why would he want to do this? Why would he want to do this?
Everybody because he claims I'm 39. All my friends are getting married. They're having families. I figured it's time for me to find somebody and get married. And that's why. That's the most stupidest reason why you're going to go and want to go get married. He lost me. Listen, there's no coming back for Aris for me. Like, I'm just done with him. He needs to just go. He's giving me fucking Chris Williams vibes like nobody's business. When they went to the apartment and he starts, I need that, I need this. He was so like demanding of where his stuff is going to go. You can have the right side. I'm taking the left side. You can have that part of the closet. I'm going to have that part of the closet. But then they get into the apartment and he's like, we have to take off our shoes. Anybody that comes in my house.
Tell your people.
And tell your people. That's right. Wow. Tell your people. Because believe me, I will check my people and I'll know when they come over, they'll have their shoes off. But when they go to his apartment to get his shit, what are they doing? Walking around in their fucking shoes. So shut the fuck up, Aris.
And what about him sleeping with her homegirl on Instagram, mutual friend?
He's a pig.
2 weeks before they got married,
knew the girl.
She knew the girl.
How did I miss that?
It's on
the after party. You don't watch the after party.
Yep.
They were comparing Instagram people, and they had mutual people. And he's like, "Well, how do you know so and so?" It's like, "Oh, I know so and so." He's like, "Oh, you know her?" And she's like, "Yeah, why?" He's like, "Oh, yeah, he slept with her. They were dating, and he slept with her like 2 weeks before."
Remember we discussed him sleeping with another woman before. Oh, wow.
Yeah, they're a mutual friend. So she was like,
she's not happy about that.
No.
So
then again, from the man's perspective, what happened before being married or whatever, you didn't even know this woman yet. So you can't say, right.
But I'm still going too with, if I know that I signed up for a show, and I know we differ completely on this, but I still think he was wrong to sleep with somebody when he knows that in a couple of weeks he was going to be getting married.
He's a man.
No, that's.
I know he's
nothing to do with emotionally.
A marriage is a mindset. It's a mindset, and if you were really set to get married and commit yourself, you wouldn't even be thinking about sleeping with another woman.
No, it's not. It has nothing to do with the mindset once you're in it. Yes, mindset once you're in it.
His mindset hasn't even changed. So that was his mindset then, and it's his mindset today.
No, I don't think
he's give him the benefit of the doubt with when he said it was 2 weeks. He had sex 2 weeks before. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Wasn't he the boys
with her before they came to him and told him that he was going to be getting married in 2 weeks.
But when he talked to the boys, it was a couple of nights before they called him. That's what he said at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before they called him. to let him know that he was going to be on the show.
Oh, okay. All right, then I take that back.
So then why, if you don't even know if you're going to be on the show, why would you, just in case I'm not going to sleep with anybody, just in case I get on the show, and then a dude is not going to do that. A dude is not going to do that.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
will.
And Eris,
Some will. Some will.
I don't know any dudes that would do that, especially if you don't know you're going to get married to someone.
But Clint and him were the only ones that did that.
Well, Chris, you think Chris goes? Chris ain't slept with someone in 2 years.
The other one, the other brother, and he didn't do that either.
Because he anyway.
Well, it's because for the both of them
that we know of,
the both of them
he was smart enough not to say it if that's the case.
Well, to be fair, the both of them weren't out there like that. Like Chris hadn't dated for a couple of years, so for him to like come out the box and say, you know, oh, I had sex 2 weeks ago, that would just be weird. Same kind of deal with Shaq. Shaq was like, you know, this workaholic doing his thing. So he hadn't had sex or wasn't in a relationship for a minute either. So I can understand that. Eris and Clint were still in them streets, living that life. So I can see why they would be like, you know, oh yeah, I had sex like 6 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago or whatever.
But that kind of just underlines my point. Again, if you know that you want to be married, you already set your mind to it. And that's what you did. Even though they're not like street people or out there just banging to be banging, like I guess Clint and Eris are, they still have the mindset that, oh, I'm going through this process, I'm going to get married. And they weren't sleeping with other women 2 days before they got the call.
I don't think the success of a marriage is going to, I understand you're saying the mindset of being in a marriage, but for Eris especially, when he's just being a single man and he's 39 and he's this and the other, you can't just I don't agree that I can't bemoan the fact that if he sleeps with someone, if he's not in a committed relationship with anybody and he's dating someone, he's like, well, you know what? I can't date you or I can't sleep with you because I may get married in a month.
I don't even think it is as black as white as that. It is almost more of a I signed up for this because I want to find the person that I want to marry. I'm letting these people handle it. So you know what? I'm out of this playing field right now until I'm done with this process.
You don't even know if you're gonna. So you're saying he should apply and then say, I'm not going to sleep with anybody until they let me know I'm going to sleep.
No, I'm not. But he went through more of the process than a person who just filled out the application. That would be like Tanya filling out the application. What, you filled it out like what, a year or two ago, still waiting for a call?
No.
Right? So no, he had gotten through stages already, so he knew how close he was.
Right. So his mind is, you know what? Before I get married, I better have my last hurrah because I know in 2 weeks I'm never going to do it again. So let me get my whatever I need to do. You know, let me get my last whatever. Or I've been dating this girl and it's kind of good, and let me have one last. I told her that it's not going to work or whatever because I'm doing this thing.
And that's shitty move number 2.
I don't know.
All right, let's go to the next one.
The fact that they know each other, I was like, I clutched my pearls when I saw. I was like, ooh, Jazz.
It doesn't surprise me because they're both in Nashville, and Black communities tend to intertwine in cities.
That is true. Yeah. Let's lighten it up a little bit and like talk about the love, because I tell you what, this may change next week, but Nicole and Chris, she had me just a flutter when she handled that shit like a champ with the dog situation.
Why is he crying?
They both got on my nerves.
Why is he crying?
I loved it.
You're right, Tanya. She was a champ with that. She was like, she was nice. She understood. To the end, I'm like, Chris, what?
Unlike the other chick with the dog.
Alexis. Yeah.
Alexis.
How she did him with the dog. Oh, fuck it. He got to go.
Right.
I was just impressed, and I was like, see, this is maturity, and this is what you do. You see him crying, You go, she went out there, she was like, what's going on? What's going on? She was very sensitive, very attentive to him. And she handled it, like went inside, got her daddy on the phone and was like, look, we got to figure something out. And, I felt bad for her because when the dad's like, oh, I'll bring Charlie or whatever the dog's name is back to Florida with me. You could tell she kind of was like, well, wait a minute now. I don't need my dog out of state. But she's making plans to make this work. And that is example number one. This is a woman. She showed me this episode. This is a woman that wants to be married. I know changed.
Who are you, ma'am?
I'm telling you, this is just based off of this episode. I am Team Nicole 100. I might talk shit about her next week, depending on how she shows up and shows her ass or whatever. But I literally was watching that like, wow, like she didn't miss a beat. She got me on that one.
I totally loved her for that too. I was a little disturbed by him because
my man, why are you crying?
I thought it was like, okay, I don't know. I'm a crier too. Y'all know I'm a big ass crybaby. I cry on a lot of things. But when I'm hit with something like that, I'm like, I try and figure it out first. He went straight to the breakdown. Why'd you go straight to the breakdown? Because that was something like how she did it. They ended up where her dog is going to stay at her apartment and she's going to have a relative stay there until, coming back and forth until they figure it out. Easy peasy. I just don't see how that was like this big crisis moment, but he made it a crisis moment, and that is a red flag for me.
Yes.
Yeah, he's very sensitive, and then he kind of like went into baby mode. Like, how children, not baby mode, child mode. Like, how children cry and they're upset, and then once it's done, you're having a conversation with them, they got the puffy eyes and they're just like got that like like when she handled it, she's talking to him and he's sitting there and he's just like, he still was like watery eyed and just so emotional about it. Yeah. Me personally, I would have been like, bro, man up. We're going to figure this out. Ain't no way these people are going to, force you to give away your dog or do something with the dogs, whatever. We'll figure it out. I agree with you on that. I just totally respected her, how she handled it.
She did a great job. And I'm concerned about his maturity level. Remember how last week and the weeks before I was just like, no, he's probably stronger than you think. That was that kind of breakdown, and I thought that was really unnecessary. And I get if he had came to her and be like, oh, I just heard that, the dog, and then he started crying, but you went off into a corner and
but again,
and everyone thought someone died. I can understand if a friend died or you lost your job or something. Even if you lost your job, you'd be like, but come on, that you can't have the dogs in the apartment for 2 months, that you're going to cry. Come on, man.
Like you couldn't put, Chris. I mean, I get you might not want to put them in.
What's Chris is on all married. Come on. Yeah. Come on, man. Don't. Now, the only thing that I can say, okay, when she said, well, do you love me? He's like, no. But I could. That's the only thing that if he had said, yes, I do, then I've been like, stop. Yeah. But she's going to get sick of it. She's going to sick of him being so sensitive, and she's going to get sick of that because she likes taking care of him, and she's being sweet right now because she likes how he treats her. But she's going to get sick of that because she's used to being, shut up and put the cigarette out.
And
put your tongue out. Put your tongue out, Nicole. You know what? I want you to get a whole fish sleeve on the bottom of your. I cannot stand that tattoo that's on the bottom of. You see that big black splotch that she has? I'm like, no, girl, no.
Yes. Yeah, I don't like that either.
She needs to just stop. Again, stop asking him, "Do you love me?" Like, just stop. It just.
I don't want you either.
I can't with that. It reeks of desperation. Just handle your business. Continue doing what you're doing, and maybe it'll work out. But at this stage, they're good in my book right now, but we'll see.
No, they are. I have the same concerns that you guys had day one, where I was just like, no, they're perfect. They balance each other out. That breakdown was just too much for me. I still love them together, and I hope it works. But I'm just saying, I would love to know what sign he is, because goddamn, that was just like Chris said. I thought somebody died. I thought something happened to one of his parents. The way he was out there boo-hooing.
Yeah. Same, but some people are really.
But the dogs didn't even die.
I know
the dogs. It was just a displacement for 2 weeks that you still could have arranged it where you see them every single day.
Right. It was a very simple workout plan that they could have came up with. So yeah, he did take it too far.
Is he crying though? I mean, like crying too.
Yeah. I mean, he was crying. He was coming out his chest. So if he's crying over that, imagine if it was one of his parents that died. He'd probably flatline. God forgive me.
So here's not a theory, but maybe he wanted to see what she would be like. If he broke down. I don't know. He has to have a reason for boohooing like that. I mean, I understand, but you buck up, boy. Buck up.
I think his reason was that he's just very, I don't even want to use the word sensitive. I just feel like he's just not emotionally equipped to deal with changes quickly. I mean, that was too much.
Well, come on, man. That was I lost a little bit. She handled it like a champ. And maybe that's what I'm saying. Maybe it was a test to see how she's gonna be with him, or is she gonna take care of him? And she was like, you know what? And but you know what? Honestly, she liked being like, you know what? We're gonna take care of it, because she's the type of woman that he's gonna go, oh, my steak is rare. Hold on 1 second. Excuse me, waiter. Yeah, he asked for a medium steak. She's that type of New York girl and likes being that type of New York girl. She likes that. But,
Clint called it.
But also, kudos to Chris for calling out Eris.
Yeah.
At the dinner.
Yeah.
He said,
oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
And Nicole was like, yeah, and I usually like to say that, and he was like, so how do you feel? What did he say? Something about the rating or something like that. He's like, so because he called him out. I'm like, you said a 4 before, and now you saying a 7. He's like, so Eris. I was like, oh, Chris is
kind of a big move though.
By Chris?
Yeah, you don't think so?
No,
I think he didn't say you said so and so.
I know that part.
He said, "Are you sure about that?" I'm just gonna let you. I'm just gonna ask you because it sounds like it's crack of shit. and Eris didn't fall for it. Whatever he said something, and he didn't push him. If he pushed him like how, what was it? Tall, skinny dude. And remember last time? Remember on the couch, and he's like, "Oh, so you call me so and so? Oh, but you call me, that kind of." He just said it once, and I was like, "Oh, Chris, okay, all right." He has a little bit of, but the crying, dude. I mean, that's still just too much.
Yeah, but I still think they're gonna make it. I mean, I feel like out of all the couples, they picked them. And it probably was as an accident, because I don't think they probably knew that they would work out well, because they just have sucked with every couple.
No, well, I think it's an obvious couple, because she just needs a nice dude after getting the cigarette out, and she wanted to be in love and married so badly. And Chris is like, I just want someone that likes me.
I just want someone, and so
that plays right into what they both need, and that's how it's working out. He's like, you look beautiful today. She's like, oh, that's what she wants to hear, because before she heard, come here, ashtray, get your ass over here so I can put my cigarette out.
Tell me you love me. You're gonna prove to me that you love me. Let me put this cigar out on your back. Oh God.
So Shaq and
Shaq and fake ass Kirsten. Come on. Kirsten is just there. She's going to ride that wave until decision day and say nope. Or
if she even makes it that far, I really feel we might be 4 for 4 out and only one in.
She is not, and she ain't even making no bones about it with her facial expressions when she's sitting next to him. She's just like, ugh, like he.
But she's saying the right things, which makes her even more fake because she's like stringing him along and pulling him along with, bullshit. But I'm hoping that he reads her correctly because he is with her more than we can actually see. So those times, like when she snuggled up next to him in the bed the night before they left Jamaica, I'm like,
right.
Yeah, but again, remember, it goes back to what he said on the after party when he was like, she's this way when we're on the camera. She's lovey-dovey and all about that. And then as soon as the camera goes away, she's like, she don't even want me near her or touching her. So I think she's playing it up. And I hope he has a backbone. If this is truly how it is, I hope that he has a backbone when Pastor Cal or Pepper gets in front of them. I hope he has the sack to say to them and her, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, why are you here? Like, if you're going to, like, when we're off camera, this is when we really should be building and talking, having these like intimate conversations, especially if you don't want certain parts of your life out there in the streets. That's when you have those conversations. But it's like, if you don't want to deal with me off camera, don't come at me when the camera crew is here and hold my hand or snuggle up next to me or, talk baby talk or honey boo boo talk, shit like that to me. Don't do that shit.
So
I'm sorry, real quick. He at least said, remember he said, well, what do you like about me? He at least knows he has an idea this is some bullshit going on. So I think he has enough, sense to know that she's throwing some bullshit. She can see.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No. I agree with both of you. But I was thinking about the last time he was on the after party, and that's when he said it, that I had missed that one. So I wonder if it was like at the honeymoon that she started acting different, or when they started living together. Because you remember, we're kind of like out of a time loop. So we don't know exactly, even though he said, she's different at one time. I wonder if when they were in Jamaica, she was a little bit more like, willing to try. And then when they got back, did she become more aloof off camera?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure, because I feel like if she was really that aloof in Jamaica and she snuggled up to him like that and he felt some type of way, I don't know if he would have accepted that snuggle. No?
No.
I know I wouldn't. If somebody was kind of making me feel insecure and
I think he would be like, oh, well, shit, she wants to snuggle. Fuck, okay, fuck it's a snuggle. But I still know you're full of shit.
Yeah.
When the camera goes off, I know you're gonna unsnuggle. So yeah. I think he's just one way or the other, whatever.
And for him to say that early, for him to say that on the after party that early, while they were still like in the throes of the honeymoon, it led me to believe that she was doing that in Jamaica. Like once they went on the honeymoon, it was like she is acting when the camera's on. When the camera lights go on and the crew shows up, she's like, boom, I'm in my mode. When the cameras go away, she's like, bro, like, yeah, we're good here. Don't talk to me. She don't want to interact with him. So he needs to.
I don't really dislike her so much. I don't like her, but I get it when you're not attracted to someone. If you just and you just can't get over that hump. I get it. You're trying, but then you look at them and you're like, oh, you don't want it. You don't want it. So I get it. But you have to be honest, and you can't just play up for the cameras. And I don't know if she has the maturity to really be in it. Unlike Jasmine, I feel like I feel bad for Jasmine because I go back to her because I think she wholeheartedly. I make fun of the teeth thing, but she seems like a very good person.
Yeah.
And she deserves so much more than what he's putting out. And I would like him, and he knows he's not attracted to her, and I would like him more. No, I would not. Because I was going to say I would like him more if he told her that, but no, don't do that. Don't do that.
Well, he did
what do
say,
you do in that?
He said it was more on a friendly vibe for him.
Yeah.
Right, but that's not saying I'm not attracted to you. I guess it's the same thing.
That's pretty much. If you say I see you more on a friendly vibe, that means
that's true.
Bitch, I ain't trying to fuck you because you're my wife and we in the bed together every night and you're my wife and I still don't want to fuck you and we're on a friendly vibe. You're not on a friendly vibe with your wife, dude.
Okay, so he was.
That's code for I don't like your flat little ass. That's what he said. That's what he said.
Yeah, basically.
He said, I want a big Megan Thee Stallion,
Serena
Williams. I want a big bootied queen. And he got.
I'd like to see the girl, the mutual friend. I want to see the mutual friend and what she looks like that he fucked. Because if she's got a big old juicy ass, thick thighs, and all that, then that's just the icing on the cake. I think Jasmine, she's not dumb. I think she gets it, that she senses that he's not into her.
Yeah.
And you could just tell by her face and how sometimes, when she talks and stuff, that she's sensing it. Again, like I said last week, I just don't want her to sleep with him. I don't want her to give him her all if he's barely giving her anything.
Yeah.
I
don't want that for her either.
Because I don't want that for her. Because I like you, Shahida. She's a authentic. She's a good person. She's there for the right reason. She wants to be married. Hell, switch it up. Give her to Shaquille. She'll make Shaquille a perfect wife.
I know.
She would have went to Jackson, Mississippi with him on his research thing. She wouldn't have even
carried his bags. She would have carried his bags.
She would have. If he would have said to her, I've got this research, she would have been, oh, Hercules, let me come see my baby do what he do best. Well, I don't care if we miss a day at Jamaica, and I'm going to sit right in the audience. And unlike Kirsten, that stayed in the hotel. Who does that?
They would have been a good fit together. And then
he would have fixed her teeth and everything. Huh? He would have paid to fix her teeth and everything. He would have had her right.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah. So is that it?
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
We didn't have anything positive to say.
Nothing.
But Nicole,
except
their relationship, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Like this season is not as bad as Boston, because Boston was because not Lindsay, what was the blonde chick's name in Boston?
Lindsay was crazy Lindsay. Yeah, it was Lindsay.
She was wild, but it's not as bad as Boston right now. But it could get worse. But the selections are hard.
Well, I think it's going to get bad. I think it's going to be probably up there, like equally matched as being worse, like Boston, or even worse. I think it's going to be bad. I think shit's about to get real.
Like right with Boston, you had Steve and Noy. I mean, they were working out on the season.
They should have worked out.
Then Katina and Olajuwon, we didn't like him, but they were working out. Right. Who else was on there? Lindsay and Mark.
Jasmina and Michael.
Yeah,
we knew Jasmina was faking the funk the whole time. She just basically strung his ass along.
Oh yeah,
Well,
she's Kirsten. Kirsten is the Jasmina. She's gonna do the bare minimum, and smile. Action when the camera crews show action. She's gonna be like, "Hey, come here, boo. Hey, baby. Hi, husband. Whatever." She's gonna pull all them cards.
I wonder how he's doing. How Michael's doing, because I did like him.
I don't know how he's doing.
Yeah, I like he doesn't have like the internet.
Let me go. Let me.
Yeah, go and take a look and see what he's doing.
While you're looking, I need to say that the Dear Lifetime I see you guys are coming out starting, I think next week. They're going to have the couples cam, the couples couch, Married at First Sight couples couch, where they're going to have some of the old couples come back and watch the show and critique it and whatever, kind of like they do on 90 Day Fiance.
Oh, okay.
But I'm a little hurt because not only are they going to have some couples on there, they've got some podcasters that talk about Married at First Sight doing the couch for some episodes, watching it and talking about it. And I'm like, hello, Lifetime, we got to get ourselves an agent for real though, because
who do they have? Who do they have? I haven't even seen the preview.
I forgot. I saw it on. I didn't see it on TV. I saw it on Facebook, one of the Married at First Sight things, and I was like, what? They're gonna have like they're gonna. I think they're gonna rotate podcasters that talk about it and like comedians and stuff. But I'm like, what about us? Because on our YouTube channel, people be talking all the time, like, you know, hyping us up, talking about how good we are. And they watch other podcasts about Married at First Sight and they like ours the best because, you know, the three of us mesh well. Come on, Lifetime. Get us on there. I won't swear.
Which one? Michael, the only Michael that comes up is Michael and Mika. Remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember Michael and Mika, but his name was Michael too.
His name was Michael, right? Everything that comes up is Michael and Mika, Michael and Mika, Michael and Mika.
That crazy ass. I wonder what he's up to. He's probably in jail for fraud.
Actually, he's married. He got married and he has like a kid now because, and I think he's doing very well. Like I don't know what was going on with him when he was a straight up fraud on the show.
He's probably doing well because of his wife.
Probably.
He's probably still a pathological liar.
Well, you can't change that. I mean, Jesus, come on.
Yeah, I felt.
A tiger can't change its spots or stripes or whatever it is. Lifetime, Married at First Sight.
It was Michael and who? Who did he marry? What was her
name?
Jasmina.
Hold on. Jasmina.
We got to get ourselves.
Yeah, Jasmine and Michael. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Michael's got 43,000 followers now.
And Jasmine is on there doing what she been wanting to do, and now she got her clout being on Married at First Sight. She's like a fashion influencer on IG, and she's doing all these ads and getting paid and shit. So I mean, listen, one hand scratches the other hand, and I'm just trying to get us on the.
Because he actually said yes and then they separated a week later or something, right?
Yeah.
Right. And what's her name? Jasmina's got like 54,000. Are they off to a rocky start? What are they doing? Who's rooting for them? No, nothing. Because
he was doing spoken word, and I think I saw like a YouTube one time. He was good, but
yeah. Well, he's also a trainer. I know that he has his own training company in Dorchester. He does the gym, but he also does like summer boot camps in the summer.
Okay.
Yeah. At like one of the parks in Dorchester. I can't remember. I saw it last year and I was like, too bad I ain't driving to Dorchester to go and take your boot camp. Because if he was closer to here, I'd sign up for one of his classes. But yeah, I'm lazy. I ain't driving.
I need a boot camp.
So they said that Jasmina has a, God dang it, why is it a picture of her in a wedding dress.
Please.
Why?
Who knows?
Probably just modeling it.
Yeah. Where are they? Oh, so a month ago is of where are they now? Jasmina and Michael, they're separated. That's it. They don't say anything more.
Yeah.
That must have been old because they separated a week after they said I did.
Yeah, they're just saying that's the update as of a month ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they just said that was the first thing.
And congratulations.
They don't speak and are no longer friends either.
Oh, I'm not surprised.
I'm not either,
but congratulations to what was her name? Brianna and what was his name? The Dominican dude from.
Well, Vincent,
baby.
Brianna, yeah.
Vincent, yeah. They had a little.
She's so cute. Her name is Auriella or Aurella or something. She's a cute little baby, and I'm glad that it worked out for them because I remember when she was, didn't want to get pregnant because she has the history of the hypertension and all of that. So I'm glad that they have their baby. I like them as a couple. Karen and Miles on the other hand.
I think she was just scared to get pregnant, She was scared. But okay, real quick before did you guys watch Love Is Blind? Like the last 3 episodes?
I haven't seen the last 3 episodes yet.
Okay.
We'll talk about that next week. Next week we'll talk about it. That's what I meant to do that.
It's only 3 episodes, and I do want to talk a little bit about it because it was something.
We'll talk about that.
But I fast forward through most of it, so a lot of it was just bullshit. I could care less.
Agreed. I got some thoughts on that, so I'll definitely and what's happened since the after the altar.
Oh, okay, because
I get some tea, child, unless you all find out about it first. But
so they do have a new show coming out too.
Yeah, Perfect Match.
And I'm like,
where they're bringing back all the rejects from like Love Is Blind, and they're gonna do. It's gonna be like a Survivor type. I ain't even watching that, so don't even try to entertain me to talk about that because I'm not watching that. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
I'll listen to what you got. Because I love a good recap. I don't care. You can tell me about it, but I'm not putting in my time.
I'm not investing my time in that. No, I'm good. All right, y'all. Well, listen. Have a good weekend. Until next time, go watch the Upshaws on Netflix. Support our boy. And if you got any clout out there, people, call Lifetime and get our asses on the after party and on, the couple's couch. We can be a throuple. Shit, we'd be good. Anyhow.